friends, Sean here with Manly Made Minute. Welcome back to another episode of Scrappy Shorts, where everything has potential. Do you have leftover Christmas cards? Because I still do. They've been sitting on my counter since Christmas. I've been saving them for this little project. And this can be used for Christmas cards. This can be used for any cards you get in the mail. Anything really that you get in the mail that you could turn into something. So this one's just about recycling and reusing and looking at this stuff of what you could use this stuff for without throwing it away. I also have an idea for all those picture cards that we get that I want to show you, but I'll have to cut and do that because I don't want to show people's full face pictures and things on the cards, but I'll show you down below here. Before I get started, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Would love to have you follow me here on YouTube, Manly Made Minute on Instagram, where I post card hops and all kinds of goodies over on that page as well. So would love to have you on both. Let's go down, let's take a look at my Christmas cards and what I have in mind for my cards. All right, here's a stash of the Christmas cards that I saved. And I saved stuff that I knew I could reuse, cut back up, die cut out, do different things with, save sentiments, all that kind of stuff. First one I want to start with is this one. So look at my dies. I just grabbed a whole bunch of random dies that I knew I had good examples to use, and I'll die cut these off camera so I'm not boring you with all the cutting. But what I want to show you first is this one. This card is absolutely gorgeous. Lots of stuff I could use this one for. I want to save this sentiment. I have these pretty pink and posh simple strips, they're called, so I can use them for sentiments. And I'm going to cut this out. What I'm going to do, and I'm going to use this thinner one so it goes over that red, is I'm going to cut out this side first. Actually, cut out the whole thing. And then I'm going to go back through and cut this edge first so that way I get the die cut on both sides. So we're going to cut that out and save that sentiment. Then I think this would be cool as a flower or even just as a background. So I'm going to probably cut one of these out like so and save this for a background element or a focal element on a card. I have this floral set that cuts these little petals, cuts this stuff that lays here and makes yourself a little flower. I'm going to cut some petals out of this because I think that would look great turned into a flower. Then if you look at stuff like this or even like this one or this one, because the glitter down here would be great. You can see the glitter on that card. Would be great just to do a butterfly out of that. This one here, I think it was this one. Yeah, I could cut this whole piece out and save that sentiment and reuse that for a Christmas card next year. I could cut these little babies out and frame those. I could just do two of them. I could get something that fits and maybe that one looks good. I could frame out all three of those. I could do just cut this with my cutter and save that whole sentiment. So let me cut some of these up. And and then leaves. Any of these for leaves, right? Get out your leaf die. I just grabbed this eucalyptus one, but any leaf die, this would look great for leaves. Let's see. These would look great for leaves. This one, this would cut some leaves out of this, all over of this, right? I could cut my sentiment out there. I could fussy cut that out. I could get a little square die. Not this one, but a square die, and cut that out. All kinds of options here. And now, I have an idea for all these cards with faces on them. I won't flip these because I'm going to cut. What I'm going to do is, like this one here, okay? I'm going to cut that in strips. So it breaks up those faces. Then I'm going to mix up all my cards that have faces. I'm going to mix up those strips, lay them all on one card. And then I've got this positive sentiments set that I want to use, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to cut these up. I'm going to cut these pictures into strips and lay this on a card and come back and then show you what I was thinking with this and then show you what I've come up with for all these. So this is about getting out your dies, getting out your sentiment strips, getting out your trimmer to cut out these strips of sentiments, and mix these up, mix and match them. You could use these for cards throughout the year. You could save the sentiments if they're Christmas sentiments and you reuse them next year, or start making them and use those as free cards that you give away if you do it to nursing homes and things, and just remake them and reuse them. So lots of options here, great potential here. I'm going to do some die cutting. We're going to come back and show you what I come up with. All right, I have die cut all of my Christmas cards out. I have taken my cards that had the pictures on them and cut them into 1/4-inch strips for the faces, and I'm going to show you the cards I made out of those. Honestly, probably one of my most favorite cards I think I've ever made. I think there's such an impact statement on them. Unexpected big statement on them. So I'm going to show you those as soon as we walk through this. So here's kind of the stash of dies that I use to cut things out. And these are just from my stash, nothing in particular. And you can see, so I left this one because I thought I could trim this down and use this almost as a full panel again, and just put a little matte background or something on it, and I'd have a card. I took some and just kind of cut out designs. I did die cut this for the stitching around the edge for the pattern on these. These were actually photo cards, but I saved the pattern portion. Again, just cut out something that I could either layer this on, put a sentiment on there. Some of these that had the scenes on them, I took and die cut them out so I can just reuse that scene, and then put a matte background on it, and you got yourself a card. This one here, I just loved the full panel, and so I'm going to keep it as is until I get to the card making and decide if I want to make littler ones of these or just a full panel again. Just cut out the words on some of these. You can see just the sentiments on these. This one had a pattern of Christmas trees, so I cut the strips of Christmas trees I thought would be for borders. Couple strips that had a good colorful background. Then I took some leaves and just die cut some leaves out of these patterns that I thought would be fun just to throw some leaves on. This one here is a layering floral that layers up with these pieces that pop out of it, like so. So this becomes your petal that layers over this little piece, then that layers over this or under this, right? So I just took different patterns of paper on that. Then these ones here, I just cut out a portion of the embossing of that one. This one here, it's the inside of the card, but I thought this would be great for a panel to use. And then a couple butterflies with just the, it was kind of a plaid pattern that was on the back of the card. And so yeah, this is things that I can use and reuse for Christmas cards, right? This one here was from one card, so I got an oval and a square off of that full front of the card. And then another portion of trees, and then another, this one was just the card itself, so I just trimmed out around that front piece. I'm going to reuse that. So that is what I got from my cards. Now, I had a whole bunch of strips from photo cards. We got a lot of photo cards this year, and so let me show you what I got. Oh my gosh. Check these out. I've got to zoom in on these because it is just, I think the way these turned out is so cool. And then I thought these would be great for a positive statement. So I just said, you are lovely inside and out on all of these cards, because it just shows, I cut pieces of the faces, the bodies, the expressions, just different portions. I just cut all those photo cards we got in 1/4-inch strips. And here's how these turned out. I think these are some of my favorite cards I think I have ever made. And I will be doing this every single year with these photo cards. I think these are great to give to somebody special that maybe just need a positive sentiment right now. You know, just anybody. These are just great cards for literally anybody. And I'm so happy on the way these turned out. So let's just come up. I'm going to give you front view on one of these just so you can kind of see front view and have that camera focus on the card. A little bit more crisp kind of view. So I absolutely love those cards. And I just love recycling and reusing and not throwing stuff away. So I thought this is a great way to reuse cards. And I'm going to actually make these sooner than later. And then I'm going to already get started on my Christmas cards and get ahead of myself. So hopefully that gives you an idea. You probably have already thrown away Christmas cards, but save your birthday cards. Save your cards throughout the year, and you can reuse some of these things. So hopefully that gives you a great idea. And thank you so much for hanging with me. And until next time, I'll see you then.